Hello and welcome to PHP Functions. A function is a self-contained block of code that performs a specific task. In PHP, we have inbuilt functions and user-defined functions. The inbuilt functions are the ones that you can use because they are already created inside of PHP. Like the echo and the print, they are both functions. If you want to know more about inbuilt functions, just visit the PHP documentation and you'll be able to see a lot of them. But the purpose of this video and training is for us to learn how to create our own user-defined functions. And that is, you can also call them custom functions. So PHP user-defined functions. It is possible to create your own functions, and a function is a block of statement that can be used repeatedly in a program. A function will not execute automatically when a page loads. A function will be executed only by a call to the function. So this is an illustration of how to create a user-defined function using the function declaration. So let's create our first user-defined function. First, we create our PHP tag, which is very important. The opening and closing PHP tag. Then the next thing is to create a function, you use the keyword function, followed by your function name. So let's create this function, greet. Then you put your empty brackets, opening and closing brackets, then your curly braces. Then what do we want this function to do? We want this function to always greet anybody that opens it. So we'll say, hello, Mr. Precious, because I am the one creating this function. So this function should greet me. And if we open this function file in our browser, as you can see, there is nothing on the screen. This is to tell you that when you create your function will just be the way it is until you call it. This brings us to this that says that a function will not execute automatically when a page loads. You see that we just loaded the page and the function has refused to load. Now, how are we going to call the function? Is by actually calling the function. To load the function, we have to call the function. So let's load this function. To call a function or load a function, all you need to do is to come down here under the function and use the function name. Okay, so right now I'm calling this function greet. If we reload this page, we can now see that hello Mr. Precious has been printed on the screen. So it repeats. You create the function using the function keyword, then you decide on your function name, then you put your empty brackets, opening and closing brackets, then your curly braces. Then inside of the curly braces, you put in the code that you want the function to execute. Now I can decide to greet myself for 5 times by just calling this function in 5 places. And let's see what happens. Hello, Mr. Precious. Let's make this code more visually appealing by using the break tag. If I save this now, and you can see hello Mr. Precious has been printed out 5 times because we've decided to echo that in the function and we are calling the function 5 times, so it is greeting me 5 times. So guys, this is it on PHP functions. I will see you in the next one.